sick days can be really, really difficult. Unfortunately, my little one, she got sick. So she already has really bad allergies, and the pediatrician has her take like children's Zyrtec every single night just to kind of keep it at bay. And sometimes they flare up, sometimes she's okay. I know it's always hard with moms in general. We say, oh my gosh, like my kid just has allergies. But with type 1 diabetes, we know right away that it's not the allergies that's bothering her and that she's actually sick, because her blood sugars will start to get out of control and like crazy, which is no fun. So that's kind of what started happening. We knew she was sick. It started out as just like a runny nose and a little bit of a cough, which of course we get freaked out because we're like, oh no. And then it wasn't good. So we were kind of battling blood sugars all day. Talked to the endo team, let them know, hey, we've increased them. She's not feeling great. Check ketones, all the things. Then the next morning, she started sounding wheezy and kind of just her breathing seemed labored and didn't sound good. So I thought, oh, I'll take her to the pediatrician. They'll probably give her a breathing treatment. Hopefully that will help. I tried doing one at home and it wasn't helping. So then it really scared me. So I took her in hoping that would work. And he looked in her ear and he said, oh my gosh, she has a raging ear infection. And then I just wanted to cry. I felt terrible because I didn't even know she had an ear infection and she wasn't complaining about it. Then he looked at the other one and he said, this one looks even worse. He said, what? He said, if she's got this ear infection, we got to get that under control before we can even, it's exacerbating the problem with her breathing. So let's get antibiotics into her right away. But rather than giving her oral ones, it's going to take a couple days. Let's give her shots. It'll do it faster. So he said, I'll do that. And then let's do a breathing treatment. And then we'll reevaluate everything in like 20 minutes and like see where she's at. So they did that and we couldn't get her oxygen. Like it was at like 89%. And he was like, if I can't get it over 92 on its own doing breathing treatments, we have a problem. We need more help. He said her heart rate is also higher than it should be and I need her heart to be monitored. So I'm going to call the children's hospital and I need you to go straight over to the ER. So then at this point, I'm like ready to be into tears. I'm just so worried about her. So I get her in the car and I'm like, we gotta go. We gotta go now. Like her heart is having a little bit of problems and her breathing is having problems. I'm scared to death. And we kind of live a ways from everything. And so everything's kind of far. So the pediatrician was in one little city. And then I had to go drive past from there through my city to another city to get to this hospital. But we were on our way. We just wanted to get some help. So it just felt like things were escalating quickly to a worse place when I had hoped to get a little help from the doctor. And I thought he was going to maybe write a prescription. We were going to go home and work on breathing treatments. But that wasn't what was happening. So we get to the hospital and they're waiting for us in the ER. They were incredible. We went to Banner Ironwood Hospital in Arizona and I just can't even begin to express the gratitude for the staff there and how well that they took care of us. They had someone with her 24/7 to monitor her, to help get her oxygen level up. They had to use a nebulizer and do a breathing treatment for about an hour. Then they put her on oxygen, watched her heart rate. They watched everything so closely, ran so many tests. They checked her for flu and COVID and RSV. They all came back negative. They told us that it could have been like allergens or something in the air that maybe caused an allergic reaction. So it could have been due to allergies or just that she got a cold. We're not really sure exactly the cause of everything. They did a chest x-ray to make sure she didn't have pneumonia, but that didn't rule out, she could still have bronchitis. She could still have inflammation in her lungs, even if there wasn't fluid in her lungs. So her lungs were swollen. They were just inflamed. And because of that, her breathing was really restricted. So we were working on all that stuff, and it's just like when they get sick, you're just fighting blood sugars. And so they had to give her antibiotics and a steroid, and then they did the albuterol in the breathing treatment. And the albuterol, as well as especially steroids, can make your blood sugar rise. So if you ever are in that situation, make sure they're aware of that. They need it, and it's okay, but you got to be on top of it as far as giving the insulin to correct that, because I think when we got there, her blood sugar was at like 156. And within an hour or so of them doing all of that. I mean, it was up to like 3:05. So I was just watching it and fighting it and trying to give her insulin, but making sure I don't stack too much. And my husband was helping me constantly along the way, like on what to give and how to do it. And they were amazing on letting us kind of take care of her diabetes care, but also being in tune with what was happening and like helping with everything else. So we are so grateful for all the care that we had, but it was hard and it was scary and it was long. And it was kind of like a mind game, because every time we thought things are getting better, we're gonna get to go home, and we ended up still there. So we were there for like 3 days, and then we got home and we had trouble with things, and I thought we were gonna end up back there, and she was dehydrated and needed lots of fluids in her IV. And then we got home and had some other problems, and it's just been really rough. And I'm just so thankful that she's feeling better. And she had been just lethargic and not wanting to move and wanting to be in bed, and now she's finally, her little personality's coming back and she wants to play and have fun, and that's all we want, you know. When your mama heart is just hurting and you see your poor child in pain, you just want them to feel better. She went through a lot. It's really hard being in the hospital and having to be hooked up to IVs, and every 2 hours they're coming in to do finger pokes, to do a blood sugar check and check temperature and do blood pressure, and every 4 hours to do breathing treatments. So her and I weren't getting any sleep, and it was really, really hard. And all she wanted so badly was to go home. She would say it over and over again. But she made really good friends with her nurses, and everyone there was so sweet and wonderful, and brought her little prizes and rewards and helped her feel brave, and she had to pick out fun Band-Aids, and so we made the best of it. But it brought back a lot of memories too for me when I was young and I got the flu, or I was sick and I had to be hospitalized, and it was never fun. So I'm not fond of hospitals because I spent way too much time there, but I'm really proud of her, and she was so brave and she endured so much hard stuff. There was a few times I felt like I needed to leave the room because I couldn't handle watching her, but we made it through. Lots of support from family and loved ones, and we're so thankful for that. And then the staff at the hospital was incredible. Our nurse Brooke and Michelle, and so many of them, and the respiratory therapists were amazing with her, and you know, all these little ones, and they take such good care of them. And Erica was the main one. I think she's kind of like the head of that department, and she was just over the top. Like, she's just an angel, and we love her so much and are so thankful for the care that she offered us. And we even met a woman named Jessica, I think that was her boss, who was also just so wonderful. So we could not speak more highly of them or recommend them as far as if you needed care for your little one and that's where you were at. It's definitely a good hospital to go to. So we're just glad to be home and glad to be on the mend.